gonna be humongous.
Okay, starting us off, in at number 10, we have teleportation.
I take it from that little impressed noise that you are interested in purchasing that matter transporter, sir.
The Simpsons created this scene that took place at a garage sale, and what was up for sale was this teleporting machine. This episode seemed way into the future, because the machine was being sold for just $2, as if it was like just a normal item.
$2, and it only transports matter? I'll give you 35 cents.
Sold.
Homer Simpson bought it. He was kind of unsure about it, but he bought it and he took it home to use. He put one of the devices on the bottom of his stairs and he put the other device on the top of his stairs, and that's what he used the machine for. So now he never has to use the stairs again. I'm pretty sure there are much better ways to use a teleporting machine. What would you guys use a teleporting machine for? Let me know in the comment section below. And please give me better ideas than Homer Simpson. Next up, number 9, I think it would be awesome in 2020 to have our first ever female president of America.
Excellent question. Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president. Helen?
Wasn't I wearing a hat?
Yes, you were.
Presidency has been around since 1789, and for hundreds of years, there just never was a female president. I don't know why. I think it's time to change that. Hillary Clinton was very close to being the first ever female president of America. Well, we should see a higher number of females running for presidency in 2020. I know President Donald Trump would be devastated to be beaten by a female, but I think it's time for change. Imagine Oprah running. I think she would beat him for sure. Others who would probably beat Trump is Ellen DeGeneres, Michelle Obama, Taylor Swift, Beyonce. Let's add her onto this list. She'd be the best singing president of all time. And actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I could probably list so many people that would be awesome presidents in 2020. Who do you guys think should be the next American president, and list females only? And if it had to be a male who's going to be the next president, I would vote for Morgan Freeman, and let's just hope he gives speeches like very often, because I would just listen to him, and whatever he said, I would just say yes. And I would listen to the president until I fell asleep at night, like every single night. Is that a little creepy? I think so. So you know what? Let's move on. Let's move on to number 8. From teleporting to a female president, now to time traveling to the past, because why not? How sick would that be? I don't even know where I would go.
I've gone back to the time when dinosaurs weren't just confined to zoos.
I would probably go back in time to confirm a few things. Maybe find out who the first flat earther was. I would want to witness the first moon landing, maybe take a look at some dinosaurs, maybe find out what actually wiped them out, and I would also time travel to find out what came first, the chicken or the egg, because that is a pretty important thing to figure out. Number 7, hovering of vehicles. Okay, who knows, this one can actually be reality soon. Technology is advancing so much, so why not? How awesome would this be? You don't have to worry about traffic ever again. You can just fly over vehicles. It won't be scary to drive in the wintertime because you don't have to worry about slipping on ice. Concepts for flying cars have already started. It seems very scary, but flying in airplanes used to be terrifying, but now it's a pretty normal thing. At number 6, we have commercial jetpacks. Jetpacks for everyone. Jetpack for you, jetpack for you, jetpack for Oprah. The Simpsons had an episode where Chief Officer Wiggum became the Sky Police. Imagine this.
I'm not the police anymore. I'm the Sky Police. Okay. I think I got it.
I think this would be so cool. I would never be late for work ever again. I could just jetpack to the studio. I mean, jetpacks have been around, but not for commercial use. Imagine it being sold at Walmart.
With this, the only fully functional jetpack in the world.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Moving into number 5, imagine magic is real. Well, take a look at this.
Gold. Sweet, sweet gold. Why didn't you ever tell us you could do magic?
Now, this would either be awesome or A really bad thing, a horrible idea. You wouldn't want magic to be in the wrong hands. Maybe if we can have like some sort of quality control over magic, it would be so amazing to have. We could magically create food for a country that doesn't have enough food, we can create water, and we can even cure people. With magic, there's just an endless amount of things that we can do. Imagine we only had so much magic in the world. I wonder how we would vote on what we would use the magic for. Like what if we had like only like 100 spells and that's it? I don't know what the most important thing is right now with trying to fix the world. This has me thinking way too much, so you know what, let's move on to something else. Something like cloning. Well, cloning comes up at number 4. Imagine being able to make 2 of yourselves. Chores would be done so much faster, and if you want days off of work, you could just send your clone into work. Or maybe you can have like 10 jobs so you can bring in more money. Because the economy these days, it just sucks. So cloning people would either be the best thing or the worst idea ever. But you heard it first here on The Simpsons.
Oh, I gotta get rid of these guys.
Finally pay it off. Well, at least I got my health.
Alright, moving on to number 3. Imagine having the ability to bring people back to life. Who would you guys bring back? I would bring back so many people. Well, in a Simpsons episode, in the future, Bart Simpson was brought back to life with a quick zap of a gun.
Say, let's bring him back to life by using technology.
Ay, caramba!
And actually, scientists are already working on bringing people back to life. People are cryogenically freezing themselves in the hopes that one day they'll be brought back to life. For example, if some people have cancer and they're losing the battle, they'll try to freeze themselves in time, hoping that in the future when technology comes around, they'll be able to cure them. And then they can be melted down and cured. Organizations are actually charging people as much as $200,000 to have this done. I don't know how I feel about this whole thing and if it's going to be even possible to one day revive the dead, but you know what? It's an interesting thought to think about. Number 2, personalized robots.
With their new love bots. Make me a Bloody Mary, dollface.
No, Selma. Even a robot built only to love you cannot love you. I am leaving with your sister's concudroid.
Imagine your own robot. I honestly think this could be a reality. They can help you with everyday tasks. There would be no more loneliness. Not too long ago, China, they actually just debuted their first AI news anchor, and it's just incredible. It's scary though. The future seems to be closer than we think. Take a look at this.
Hello, everyone. I'm an English artificial intelligence anchor. This is my very first day in Xinhua News Agency. My voice and appearance are modeled on Zhang Zhao, a real anchor with Xinhua. The development of the media industry calls for continuous innovation.
Is this real life right now? How is that a robot? It's just too real. It's pretty scary when you think about it. And didn't we just have a robot last year become the first ever robot citizen of Saudi Arabia?
So, hold on. Can you solve this puzzle for us? Can robots be self-aware, conscious, and know they're robots?
Well, let me ask you this back. How do you know you were human?
Finally, at number 1, superpowers. Imagine science figured out a way to give everyone superpowers. Well, maybe not the criminals. I would probably pass on them. But how awesome would this be?
The radioactive explosion gave us the power to move things with our intellect.
Flowers for the lady? Bart, what powers did your brain give you?
Just imagine the Harry Potter movie being real. I don't think everyone having superpowers would be good, but what if a selection of people who were highly trained enough, well, they were the ones that were allowed to have superpowers to fight justice. They would be called superhero crime fighters. Having superpowers could save millions of lives, but given in the wrong hands, it might destroy millions of lives. So maybe we gotta rethink that one.
Excellent question. Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president. Helen?
Wasn't I wearing a hat?
Oh, ma'am, you really shouldn't teleport when you're pregnant. I'm afraid your only choice is air travel.
Kicking off the list at number 10, a friendly spokesperson. Back in 2007, The Simpsons hit the big screen. We had to pay movie admission prices to see the Spider Pig bit. Which, more than fair, that's a great bit. We're still talking about it. It's good stuff. The Simpsons movie was full of celebrity cameos, obviously. I mean, it starts off with Green Day. The band Green Day is animated and they play in this movie. How fun. Tom Hanks also makes an appearance, which is always fun. He just shows up and says, "Hi, I'm Tom Hanks." One of the most memorable lines in the movie, oddly. But Mr. Hanks continues this bit by saying the US government has lost its credibility, so now it's borrowing some of his. Funny line, but cut to 2022, Tom Hanks still looks great, ages like fine wine of course, but now he's a real-life spokesperson for the US government. This time around, he's not animated and he's supporting the Biden administration. Good thing it's not Chet Hanks, or else it'd be a little bit different. Number 9. Billionaires in space. I think we can all agree that it's a little annoying when billionaires just, float around in space for an hour. I don't want to see you breakdance for a bit, Richard Branson. I'm good, I'm all set. I don't want to stir up a political debate thing here or whatever, but I'm working to pay off my student loans and billionaires are leisurely floating around in the cosmos, just because they can. When will it be enough? When is being rich on our planet going to be enough? The Simpsons predicted Richard Branson's space excursion back in season 25, in the episode titled The War of Art. That was back in 2014, and recently Richard Branson blasted off planet to float around Virgin Airlines for a bit. Just because he could. Just felt like it. He was like, yeah, debit. And right now, NASA and Tom Cruise are partnering up to make movies in space. The next Mission Impossible is going to be in space for some reason. That's awesome. I can't wait to see the trailer. What about my student loans though? I'll buy a ticket once I pay my loans off. Now we're talking. Number 8, music control. I honestly can't wait for future technology when it comes to music. I'm a sucker for good headphones. I love it. Adele 30. I'm cranking that album my entire commute, so good. Sometimes you hear an album that moves you, but what if the music literally moved you? What if in the future music could control your thoughts? Scary stuff, right? In a 2001 episode titled New Kids on the Block, this episode showed Bart in a band that was secretly doubling down as a mind control device for the Navy. Subliminal messages through music, we've heard of this before of course. Stairway to Heaven played backwards is a thing, apparently. In Spy Kids, the Floops, they were calling for help backwards via music. He's like, Floop is a madman, help us, save us. It's been stuck in my head for 20 years. This idea has spooked young Taylor a few times, so obviously I had to share. Is this a possibility in the future? Hip-hop artist The Game, right now, he believes that the internet is brainwashing people into liking whack music. Yeah, it's not always military messages and all that, could be just whack music, but never say never. Could we see the day the military sends out subliminal messages? Maybe Dawn to 3, hashtag Dawn to 3, hashtag join the Navy, I don't know. Number 7, virtual reality. While working from home, I obviously got an Oculus. I got my first VR set, and let me tell you, I've never felt more sick in my life. Oh my gosh. Virtual reality is great and it's getting better and better, but how much further can we get? How is this gonna affect us in the future? Will the metaverse be a new hangout spot instead of going outside? I'm kind of on board with this. In the Simpsons episode back in 2016 titled Friends and Family, a new virtual reality headset arrives to Springfield, and it's good. It's really good. It's so good, residents can't keep their eyes off it. They're walking around in the streets while wearing headsets. Cars are swerving around people wearing their own headsets. Everybody's in their own virtual worlds, but in real time, it's chaos. This is the near future, according to The Simpsons. Honestly, I'm here for it. I'll play anybody in Beat Saber. Good game. Better stay out of my way, honestly. I'm like Darth Maul when it comes to Beat Saber. Wild. Guitar Hero I couldn't figure out. Beat Saber though? Number 6, holograms. Ever since I saw Star Wars, I've wanted holograms. I wanted hologram mail since I was 7 years old. Like in Star Wars, just how cool would that be to appear in my brother's room out of nowhere via hologram? Father wishes to speak with you. What a dream that would be. The Simpsons predicted this would move into our daily lives come season 11, episode 17, appropriately titled Bart to the Future. Hologram mail, I mean, that sounds convenient, but what does chainmail look like in this world? It's kind of scary. How scary are pop-ups? Middle of a movie out of nowhere, it's like, hey, do you want a bigger, you won't last 5 seconds. I'm like, get out of here. Digital Domain was the company responsible for the Tupac hologram at Coachella back in 2012. Holotronica, another company, did the impossible at the Grammys in 2017. They made multiple Beyoncés perform at the same time. Yeah, I don't think we can handle more than one, to be honest. We flew too close to the sun with that one. I can't wait until holograms become a thing, honestly. I hope this happens. I can't wait to tell you to smash that like button in your living room. I'm like, yeah, hit that thumbs up, guys. Also, where's the bathroom? Number 5, Ivanka 2028. The Simpsons predicting Trump's presidency is pretty wild, I'll admit. I looked into that and I was like, really? How did this even happen? So this next one, honestly, who knows? Out of everything on this list, this one seems the most likely. I mean, yeah, better than hologram mail. Probably this will happen first. The Simpsons may have predicted another Trump presidency. This one comes from season 28, episode 4, Treehouse of Horror 27, so it's kind of funny. The episode originally aired on October 16th, 2016, and opens with Bart asking Homer why he's taking the family Christmas tree shopping on Halloween. And Homer replies, because in America, everything's way too early, revealing a pin that says Ivanka 2028. Number 4, Big Ben. You ever look at a clock with hands and it takes you like 7 seconds to really figure out what time it is? I can't do it. Sometimes you need a timepiece that's digital, you know, middle of the night, you can't see, you're having a nightmare, you look over. Digital is the way to go. You go to a wedding though, you're not wearing a digital watch. That's, you know, you're not doing laps on the dance floor. You're gonna try and look a little classy, wear some hands. The Big Ben, I hope, never goes digital. But the Simpsons are telling us this may be the case down the road. I don't know. Sad, right? I've only been to England once and I was so pumped to see the Big Ben in person, and I get there and I legit had no idea where it was. I felt so stupid. I felt like I got off at the wrong stop. I was like, where is this thing? It was underneath the scaffolding, right in front of me the whole time. In an episode from 1995, the future sees Lisa traveling to England, as did I, to meet her future husband's parents. And the Big Ben is digital in this future. Imagine every hour, instead of hearing a bell, you heard a notification bell instead. God, I'd be so stressed out. Every hour, everyone in London's like, you? Is it? What time is it? Number 3, robots. Sometimes I'll be watching TV, minding my own business, whatever, and then Alexa will come out of nowhere and be like, sorry, I didn't quite get that. Just out of the blue, so alarming, didn't ask anything. Is she always listening? How are we okay with this? Combine that with what's going on over at Boston Dynamics. I don't know, we have an apocalypse coming very soon. I've seen iRobot, we're screwed. We're setting up a Black Mirror episode, honestly. We're at a point now where robots can straight up do parkour. Boston Dynamics is trending every other week. I thought those videos of robots doing parkour, rolling around, I thought those were fake. No, we're that close. We're that good with robots now. They can squat and they can dance. Robots can dance now. Are you kidding me? The Simpsons have touched on robots taking over a few times, actually. In 2012, they predicted that a great amount of jobs would be lost to robots, which it's definitely happening right now. Even back in 1994, the Simpsons episode titled Itchy and Scratchy Land showed a theme park full of robots that go crazy and then end up attacking civilians. Hope that doesn't happen. But again, Boston Dynamics is like, hey, check it out, this one can do a flip. Sophia the robot, she's been on talk shows, she's a fun time. She's actually the first robot to receive citizenship from any country. So could this slowly be underway? Could robots slowly becoming normal things in our lives? What if they snap? I'm so scared. I hope not. iRobot predicted self-driving cars, so they're onto something as well. I'm so scared. Number 2, Mars. In the future, going to Mars might be as simple as going to the mall, only the commute is really, really long and boring. And you also can't come back until the planet swings back near Earth, so good luck. Hope your phone's charged. Cheers. One episode of The Simpsons shows the family visit the big red planet come 2051. But honestly, I feel like we're gonna get there a lot sooner. SpaceX is already planning to send people out there right now, and it's a quick 9-month trip there, so, you know, it's, again, boring. Make sure your things are charged. Also, watch out for galactic cosmic rays on this trip, because I heard those are a pain. No, you will not become the Fantastic Four. It'll just be all bad. It's actually more beneficial for the team to travel during these peak times in the 2030s and in the 2050s, because trips to the planet will be shorter because of the solar maximum. So in the future, yes. Near future, no. And finally, coming in at number 1, goodbye. A lot of government hologram hidden messages in this list, so let's finish her up on a nice prediction for the future. In season 11, episode 17, called Bart to the Future, a classic, we see a future where goodbyes are no longer needed or said. We stopped shaking hands recently, we got some distance in between us, so what's next? Could we not say goodbye to each other anymore? I'm kind of on board for this. No more awkward goodbyes, what a dream that would be. You ever say bye to somebody and then you have to walk the same way? Or you say bye, then you have to wait at a red light? That's always bad too, that one sneaks up on you. In this bright new future in The Simpsons, everybody says, smell you later. And then they skateboard away. That's perfect, let's go. Small talk and a pop shove it. This is the bright future we've been promised. It's close, I feel it.
Starting off this countdown, we have the sun. In Season 6, Episode 25 of The Simpsons, titled Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1, Mr. Burns plans to block out the sun, all for financial gain. His plan is to construct some giant disc to permanently block the sun from shining down on Springfield. Then residents will be forced to rely on electricity from Mr. Burns' power plant. I mean, Mr. Burns thinks it's a good idea. Have no sun at all and just have people rely on heaters to keep them warm and so on. But as Smithers points out, this would be terrible for the environment. Crops would no longer be able to grow without light, cold-blooded animals would die from not being able to regulate their body temperature. So no, this would not be a good plan at all. And all we need is some money-hungry person of power to decide that this is a good idea, and our planet is doomed.
Coming in at number 9, we have the Dome. Before I dive any further, please don't forget to hit that like button as it really helps us out. The Dome was put over Springfield by the Environmental Protection Agency because it was the most polluted town in the world. Not only did it end up crushing someone as it came down, but I can only imagine that having a dome over your city would feel a lot like I did quarantining with my roommates earlier in the pandemic.
In our 8th spot, we have the asteroid. 2020 has been a pretty tragic year as is. The last thing we need is a giant asteroid to come hurling down towards Earth. Well, in the 14th episode of Season 6, titled Bart's Comet, Bart discovers a comet that is heading straight towards Earth. They believe that the comet is going to destroy life as they know it. This causes the Springfield residents to panic and count down the days they have left to live. Now, the Simpsons episode ends with the comet being burnt up into little pieces, causing no harm to the Earth. Amen. So maybe we are safe. For now.
And at number 7 today, we have Big Ben turning digital. Because of all of our advancements in technology, the traditional ways of doing things tend to get thrown out for newer, easy-to-use gadgets. This has definitely made our lives a lot more efficient and simple, but is newer technology always the way to go? Big Ben appears a few times throughout the series, but it is always seen with a digital clock instead of the real-world analog clock. Is this the way of the future? Will analog clocks one day be eradicated?
Making our way down the list, at number 6, we have the nuclear disaster. In The Simpsons, Homer Simpson is known to work at a nuclear power plant, and on numerous occasions has almost caused a number of disasters. Now, in the iOS game The Simpsons Tapped Out, we see Homer working at the power plant, but is distracted and ends up causing a meltdown. The nuclear plant explodes, killing citizens and wiping out Springfield. It then encourages players to rebuild Springfield, however they choose. Then also in the show, there have been a number of times where we have seen the characters just chilling on drums of radioactive waste or dumping the materials into the seas. So could it be that there's going to be another nuclear disaster among us? Either from an exploding reactor or from people being careless with nuclear waste? I mean, from the Chernobyl incident, we have seen how deadly they can be. So let's hope that this never happens.
At number 5 today, we have mind control through music. We've all heard people talking about hidden messages in song, but could music have the potential to influence our decisions? In a 2001 episode, we see Bart in a new band with his friends. What they don't know is that their music is actually a psychological operation that is used to send children subliminal messages and control their minds. It's definitely a scary thought that one day our favorite song could really be impacting us in ways that we never even realized.
In our 4th spot, we have the environmental disaster. The 2007 Simpsons movie may have predicted more than we realize. So as Olivia mentioned before, Springfield gets put into quarantine, basically, after the EPA puts a glass dome over the town. Well, what caused this? Well, Homer dumped a silo of pig waste into the lake and it polluted the water. It became so toxic that the EPA was ready to blow up all of Springfield. Now, I'm not saying that that will happen, but maybe some other large-scale environmental disaster will. It could be from pollution or someone being reckless like Homer. It's scary to think how one person's actions could cause us all to suffer. Plus, water can become so badly contaminated that it's no longer safe to drink or bathe in.
Coming in at number 3, we have virtual reality food. We see Homer and Marge eating fudge through feeding tubes with VR goggles on. Although on the surface, being able to enjoy any treat you want without the risk of cavities might seem like a good thing, we have to consider if we'd really be enjoying our food this way. Obviously, we eat because we have to, but it's also a social activity. If we went to virtual reality food, it would be hard to enjoy a meal out with your friends and family, not to mention the chance of getting motion sickness from wearing the goggles.
Coming in at number 2, we have World War III. Could 2020 be the year that World War III happens? Well, let's ask The Simpsons, because according to them, the answer is yes. In the 1995 episode titled Lisa's Wedding, we dive 15 years into the future. From there, we see what life is like in the future. Now, in the episode, we see Homer and Lisa's fiance, Hugh, drinking at Moe's bar. During the scene, a very weird exchange goes on between Moe and Hugh, suggesting that there was a third world war. So it may just be that another war is about to begin. What's scary is how this particular episode was filled with other predictions that have come true, like virtual reality games, FaceTime, and Apple Watches. So let's hope that this one doesn't come true.
Alright, and in our number 1 spot today we have robots turning against humans. We have all seen the 2004 masterpiece iRobot, but in season 6, episode 4 of The Simpsons, during a visit to Itchy and Scratchy Land, the robots that are meant to help with the guests start to break down and begin trying to kill the guests. Definitely not the day out with the family that they had planned. Although this episode aired in 1994, we definitely get closer to that possible reality every year.
Hide your Alexa, hide your Siri, hide your Google Home,
Seriously.
hide your Roomba. They're coming for you. Oh, seriously. I'm telling you, I can't have a Google Home like in the house because it listens to everything you say.
It does, and it will talk to you when you're not even
around.
around.
Like, I didn't ask for that, and they're like, sorry, what did you say? It's like, stop it, you're creeping me out.
So scary.
Yeah.